All right, so Amendment 4 of Missouri's midterm January 2026 midterm elections. The second extraordinary session of the first regular session truly agreed to and finally passed House Committee Substitute 4 House Joint Resolution number 303rd General Assembly 2025. Joint Resolution submitted to the qualified voters of Missouri an amendment to Article 3 of the Constitution of Missouri by adopting one new section relating to ballot measures with penalty provisions. Be it resolved by the House of Representatives, the Senate concurring therein. That the next general election to be held in the state of Missouri on Tuesday next, following the first Monday in November 2026, or at a special election to be called by the governor for that purpose, there is hereby submitted to the qualified voters of this state for adoption or rejection the following amendment to Article 3 of the Constitution of the state of Missouri. Section A, Article 3, Constitution of Missouri is amended by adopting one new section to be known as Section 54 to read as follows. Section 54, come on now, work with me. Section 54, subsection 1. This section shall be known as the Protect Missouri Voters Amendment. Subsection 2. For the purposes of this section, a statewide ballot measure shall mean any measure submitted or proposed to be submitted to the voters of the state under Articles 3 and 12 of this Constitution. Subsection 3. Get it all in here. Whoop, nope, we don't want all that. We just want to highlight this just so you guys know exactly where I'm reading at. No political committee that makes expenditures or contributions in support of or in opposition to a statewide ballot measure shall knowingly or willfully receive, solicit, or accept, whether directly or indirectly, contributions from a foreign adversary of the United States or a foreign national. No foreign adversary of the United States or a foreign national shall make any contribution or expenditure in support of or in opposition to a statewide ballot measure. Two, for the purposes of this section, A, a foreign adversary of the United States shall be defined as any foreign, national, provincial, or local government or any entity that is directly or indirectly controlled or owned by a government or that directly or indirectly controls a government or a political party of a foreign country designated as a foreign adversary by the United States Secretary of State from the time such designation is published in the Federal Register until revoked. Or B, any individual who is a citizen of a foreign country meeting the requirements of subparagraph A of paragraph A, subdivision 2 of subsection 3, this section, and who is not a United States citizen or lawful permanent resident. B, a foreign national shall be defined as any individual who is not a citizen or lawful permanent resident of the United States of America. All right. 3. Any violation of this subsection shall be punishable by imprisonment up to 1 year or a fine up to $1,000 or both, plus any amount equal to 3 times the illegal contributions. The Attorney General shall have exclusive criminal jurisdiction. 4. The General Assembly may by law, A, enact laws to implement the restrictions of this subsection or enact further restrictions to implement this subsection. B, enact restrictions on foreign support or support for or opposition to Missouri ballot measures. C, enact reporting requirements regarding foreign support for persons or committees that oppose or support ballot measures. And D, provide for investigation and enforcement of the provisions in any such enactments, or in this subsection including, but not limited to, criminal penalties or civil remedies. 4. 1. Any person who commits any of the following acts with respect to a petition or on a statewide ballot measure is guilty of a crime of petition signature fraud. A, signs any name other than his or her own to any petition, or who knowingly signs his or her name more than once for the same measure, for the same election, or who knows he or she is not at that time of signing or circulating the same a Missouri registered voter and a resident of this state. B, intentionally submits petition signature sheets with the knowledge that the person whose name appears on the signature sheet did not actually sign the petition. C, causes a voter to sign a petition other than the one the voter intended to sign. D, forges, falsifies signatures. Or E, knowingly accepts or offers money or anything of value to another person in exchange for a signature on a petition. 2. Any person who knowingly causes a petition circulator's signature to be submitted for counting and who either knows that such circulator has violated subsection 1 of this section, or after receiving notice of facts indicating that such person may have violated subsection 1 of this section, causes the signatures to be submitted with reckless indifference as to whether such circulation has complied with subsection 1 of this section, shall also be deemed to have committed a crime of petition signature fraud. The crime of petition signature fraud is punishable by imprisonment for up to 1 year or a fine up to $1,000 or both. The Attorney General shall have exclusive criminal jurisdiction to prosecute under this section. Again, 5. At a reasonable time and place after the initiative petition is submitted with signatures and before a petition is placed on a ballot, the Secretary of State or the Secretary's designee shall conduct one or more in-person web-based hearings to receive additional public comment regarding the purpose and effect of the proposed measure. Transcripts or summaries of the hearings shall be made available to the public no later than 7 days after the hearing is conducted and after the petition is placed on the ballot. 6. Notwithstanding sections 51 and 52b of this article and Article 12, Section 2b of this Constitution, statewide ballot measures to amend the Constitution that are proposed by initiative petition are approved only if affirmative votes are cast by a majority of voters in each congressional district in effect at the time of the vote. 7. The full text of any statewide ballot measure proposed by the initiative shall be made available to each voter, either legibly printed on paper or in digital format at the time a ballot is made available to the voter for voting. This requirement is in addition to and does not replace all other printings and displays of full text and the ballot title required under this Constitution or by law. The Secretary of State is expressly authorized to promulgate rules consistent with rulemaking authority under Missouri law to implement and administer the provisions of this subsection. 8. The provisions of this section are self-executing. All the provisions of this section are serviceable if any provision of this section is found by a court of competent jurisdiction to be unconstitutional or unconstitutionally enacted. The remaining provisions of this section shall remain valid. Section B. Pursuant to Chapter 116 and other applicable constitutional provisions and laws of this state allowing the General Assembly to adopt ballot language for the submission of this joint resolution to the voters of this state, the official summary statement of this resolution shall be as follows. Shall the Missouri Constitution be amended to stop foreign nationals and foreign advisories of the United States from providing funding to influence ballot measure elections and allow criminal prosecution of violators. Punish initiative petition signature fraud as a crime. Require public hearings to be held to get public comment before initiative petitions are placed on the ballot. Require the majority of voters in each congressional district to approve initiative petitions to amend the Constitution and make available to each make available to each voter the full text of initiative petitions with their ballot. Now, reading through this with my simple mind, I see that the only real restrictions that this puts in place is stopping foreign adversaries of the United States from influencing any petitions or ballot measures that would be placed on the Missouri ballot. And it provides some rather, in my opinion, 3 times contribution. That could be considerable for some of them. As well as some very good penalties for people who want to forge signatures or buy signatures. Let's admit it, California is having a huge problem with this right now. But, so, now that we've got some of that in order, let's dive into this Section 51 and 52B of Article 3. Oops. Alright, we got our Constitution of the State of Missouri, and I've already got them pulled up over here. So, this is in Article 3, Section 51. Feel free to look it up for yourself. Alright, Section 51. Appropriations by initiative. Effective date of appropriations by initiative. Effective date of initiated laws. Conflicting laws concurring adopted. The initiative shall not be used for the appropriation of money other than of new revenues created and provided for thereby or for any other purpose prohibited by this Constitution, except as provided in this Constitution. Any measure proposed shall take effect when approved by the majority of the votes cast thereon. When conflicting measures are approved at the same election, the one receiving the largest affirmative vote shall prevail. Section 52B refers to veto powers. Veto power, elections, effective date. The veto power of the governor shall not extend to measures referred to the people. All elections on measures referred to the people shall be had at a general state elections, except when the General Assembly shall order a special election. Any measure referred to the people shall take effect when approved by a majority of the votes cast thereon, and not otherwise. This section shall not be construed to deprive any member of the General Assembly of the right to introduce any measure. All right, and now we get to the nice long one here, which is Article 12. Which, sorry, wrong. And we're just going to real quick double check ourselves here. So Article 12, Section 2B is what we are specifically going to look at here for this. So Section 2. Power of impeachment. Trial of impeachments. The House of Representatives shall have the sole power of impeachment. All impeachments shall be tried before the Supreme Court, except that the governor or a member of the Supreme Court shall be tried by a special commission of 7 eminent jurists to be elected by the Senate. The Supreme Court or special commission shall take an oath to try impartially the person impeached, and no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 5/7 of the court or special commission. All right. So there you have it, folks. That is Amendment 4 for the Missouri State Ballot in 2026. Our midterms. I will be voting to enact this. I like it. I think it's a very good step forward. I think it puts a lot of protections for the Missouri voter in place. And it punishes those that would seek to try and coerce or maneuver around anything that we would want. Thank you for your time. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope the information was valuable to you. Until next time, I'm Justin Ryan. Have a good day.